Good to go? Morning, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday, September 9th, regular TUD board meeting. If everyone will rise and join me in the pledge, I would appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, stands one nation, under God, indivisible. Okay, thank you. Guess we will open the public forum. We would like to welcome the members of the public who have taken the time to attend this meeting and provide comments on matters related to district business. Any member of the public may address the board relating to any matter within the board's jurisdiction. This section is for comments on items not listed on the agenda. Persons speaking during the public comment will be limited to 5 minutes, or depending on the number of persons wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. While no action or discussion may be undertaken by the board on topics presented in this section, board members are listening carefully to these comments and appreciate your input. So with that, do we have anyone that would like to address the board? Please step up to the podium.
Hello, my name is Rocky Wolf, and I'm the instructor from the Tuolumne Construction Pre-Apprenticeship Collaborative. We're neighbors, a couple blocks, but hey, neighbors are neighbors. So we've been doing this. We just finished our 15th cohort, and we have classes ranging from 10 to 15 students, and trying to give them a meaningful, what's better than a job is a career. I'm retired. I'm just retiring right now. It's good reason. You can tell from my groping for words. But I came today because I want to thank you, the board, for and it's not an official partnership, but it's been a partnership where every cohort we reach out to Tuolumne Utilities District, and every cohort, Abby Parkon comes and presents to our classes the potential and the possibilities of making a career working for TUD. And to date, I believe we have 2, and Gino Pinocchio and Paul Behe are both water, what's their title? The water? Awesome. There you have it. That comes from the professional here. But it made their dreams come true. And so they're living their dream. It's just phenomenal. And as a teacher who does what I do because I care for my students, it means a lot to me. And so she continues to come. And I just want to say this about her. She is an amazing woman. And you guys have struck gold here. So if there was a discussion of getting rid of her, I vote no. She is a compassionate person. She's very professional. She knows her material. That's why I'm using her as a reference right now. But she also has a mother's heart at the same time. And so she comes with caring. She gives them stern advice, on how to prepare for their future. And it's just a delight. The students love it and they respond. I have right now, one of my female students is signing up to take her water treatment class. And no, I just went, what are you doing? And she said, yeah, that's what and so she's inspirational. She motivates, and she's brought a lot of information, but more than information, vision and direction. And so I really want to thank you guys for allowing it, but covering her to allow this relationship to proceed. Like I said, we have another class. We do 2 a year. We'll be firing up another one in February. And we sure plan to have her, even though I personally won't be there, but we look forward to having you come and represent the TUD vision and your goals. She does a great job too. She taught me things I didn't know about, the water treatment and, where the water, I knew kind of where the water came from because I can't swim in Lion's Dam, And I always, what in the heck? But but anyway, so she does answer a lot of questions, but more than that, giving them vision for a career in water management. So thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you for this time, for allowing me to come in. And I need to cover all my bases before I depart. And I really want to thank again, leave with a heart of gratitude for what you've done for our program over these last several years. So thank you, Abby. And thank you, board. And I don't know the rest. Yeah. But anyway, thanks you guys.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Anyone else wish to speak to the board? Right. If not, I will close the public forum and move it to you.
Okay, our next item is staff reports.
Yeah, I'll go first. I see on 27, I met with President Ringen to discuss district issues. 8/29, I had a virtual meeting. Justin Caparuso from Mountain Counties organized a regional roundtable discussion for general managers. It's a time for us to get together and talk about, like issues. We're all kind of in the same boat there in the Mountain County. So I think moving forward, we'll probably meet, 2 to 3 times a year and discuss issues that we're all kind of related and how we can work together and solve some of those challenges. On 2nd of September, I met with President Ringen again to discuss the agendas and other issues. Between last time and now, we participated in several Sierra Pines task force meetings. Those are going great. Yesterday, I attended along with President Ringen and Director Kearns, the LAFCO meeting last night. Last night was at 3 o'clock, went for 2 hours. A lot of discussion on municipal service reviews for TUD, for Jamestown, for Tuolumne City Sanitary District and Tuolumne Park and Recreation District. Yeah. Maybe somebody wants to elaborate on that. Anyway, the bottom line is they're going to push through and get our MSR completed. It's up in the air whether they're not going to finish the others anytime soon. So anyway, but tomorrow, just as a reminder, we have a CSDA governance training meeting that we're looking forward to. That's it for me.
Nothing to report.
Come on now. Last week had to have a whole bunch.
Nothing to report.
Just a quick update that I think it was last board meeting, I presented the year-end financial statements, and just to let you know, next week is our official audit, our normal yearly audit. And then sometime in the month of October, our auditors will then report to you.
And good morning, everyone. Last meeting, I was absent because I was at the California Special Districts Association conference. It was a great conference. I know some of you have been to that conference in the past, and so it's just a great opportunity to get together with other districts like you do at Aqua as well, and talk about all manner of things, special districts. There's mosquito abatement districts, there's, water resources districts, there's cemetery districts, but there are lots of water districts, CSDs, things like that. So that was really cool. Got to meet up with also some of our partners across the river that were there. So from CCWD, UPUD, Twainhart, CSD, Groveland. So that was really cool. Lots of different topics that I went to, all the way from HR, labor relations, but legislation that affects our districts, and also public outreach, communications, public meetings, things like that. So it was really nice. The day after that, I went over and met with Rocky Wolf and his group that he just talked about. Thank you, Rocky, for the kind words. So, give you a gift card or something later for that. bake you cookies or something. No, that was nice. Yeah, I've been attending those meetings for his cohorts. I didn't know how often they were. It's, sometimes it's all a blur, but I've been there many times. Rocky really cares about his students, and it's really fun. I think I typically come in around the 6th week or so. So you get to come in and see what the group has built. I mean, sheds, and they framed up several rooms in their building over there. They're off of Kamaj. And so it's really fun to talk to them about TUD and share kind of what we do and how we do it. And then just really about our mission and vision for the districts, to share your vision, but really talk to them about what we do here and who our employees are and the culture that we have here, which I'm very proud of. And I think that comes across, it sounds like it comes across, but, and just what the expectations are. This is an amazing career. This is the premier spot to work at in the county, if I might be biased, but I think it's true. And I'm just really proud of that. But I also share with them, that we have high expectations, and just give them some tips in the application process, and just overall some advice when they're looking for work, and what to look for, and trying to do something that they're passionate about. So anyway, it's been a great partnership, and I know you're retiring, I think, again from this. So anyway, I appreciate what you do for the community, because it's a really great program. It gives lots of people a chance to learn a lot of really good skills that will help them on in their life. So thanks, Rocky. And then a couple things on public outreach. You saw a few emails from Emily, but we had, all manner of things. We had our goats doing vegetation work that we really highly publicized, and that always gets published in Aqua News as well. And we also had another tank press release that went in Aqua News, and they also featured us in their highlights for the year. So that's kind of fun to get that sort of vision out there for TUD and other across Aqua. So they always pick up our stuff. I was going to share with you one thing. I'm sorry, I went out of order here. Let's see. Yeah, the Gibbs tank completion. So we had a nice press release on that and got some good local news, both My Mother Lode, Union Democrat. So you guys have all seen that from Emily. Also on the public outreach, I know it's Director Ringen and Dawn reported out. We met with Congressman Tom McClintock on August 20th. But also as a follow-up to that, we sent his staff person, Brixton Lane, an email just, following up with them, thanking them, of course, but also asking for their support, and on a couple of projects through FEMA that we have, our hazard mitigation projects. So I'm happy to report that Brixton got back to us and said that they submitted a congressional inquiry to FEMA on the status of those projects. So we hope to hear back on that, but that's just another way that we can kind of get TUD out there and hopefully get some more feedback on the status of the FEMA project. So more news on that. And then I'll just close, sorry for the long report, but this is important too, because there's a couple of TUD kudos that I'd like to give acknowledgement to. Today, you guys are gonna go see and meet the raw water staff along with the treatment staff, but two of the kudos are for in raw water, Jake Stone, our raw water foreman, and Fernando Toledo, a utility worker in raw water, both completed or passed our knowledge exam on the historic properties management plan that we put together under Eric's leadership. And it's all measure of the historic properties management plan that is oversees our operations out there on the ditches to make sure that we're respecting the cultural and historical values of the ditch. And so it's important for us that we developed this knowledge base and transfer that knowledge through the staff. So we've developed an exam, and that's part of the requirements in that department, is that they've passed that exam and that they truly understand what they're doing when they are doing maintenance and repairs out there. So that's really exciting, because those were the first exams that we administered under the HPMP. And then lastly, we got a really nice handwritten letter from a customer who had called out one of our employees, and she wanted to specifically give kudos to our employees. So Tim Grambois, he has been with the district for about 18 years now, and he's in the construction maintenance department. And he was called out, and this customer had some really nice things to say about Tim. She said Tim was very professional and very helpful. He went above and beyond to help us get back up and running. So they had a water issue. They had no water. There was mud filled in their meter, and so they needed help with that. They're an elderly couple, she says, and she says TUD should be very proud to have this man on our team. We are elderly and don't know, and you don't know how truly kind and understanding Tim was, and he deserves kudos for all of his efforts. So she had some other nice things to say, as well as a nice long note. And we typically follow up with those. We say, basically thank them for thanking us, but it's really nice because she did go out of her way to write a nice handwritten note about Tim Grambois. So thank you to Tim. And again, he works in operations under Eric and his team. So that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Okay, I guess it comes back to the board. Who'd like to go first?
I have nothing to report.
It's pretty tough one. Yeah. I got a couple things. First of all, I want to say thank you to Rocky for showing up. Been a long time, Rocky. Good to see you. Glad to see you're part of that program. That's great. For you. Yeah. Yeah, the LAFCO meeting yesterday, Director Ringen was there, General Manager Perkins was there. Yeah, they're trying to get their MSRs done. They're way overdue for those. And I really enjoyed your comments, Don. They do need to get some victories, and especially the one when you told them they could have our information by midnight if they wanted them. So that was great. That was awesome. So hopefully they'll get that stuff done and do the people's work on that. One other thing, I got a call from a constituent yesterday. She was concerned about the automatic read meter that was to be installed at her house yesterday, and she called me and I answered all of her questions best that I could. She had some technical questions. And then I saw later last night that Matt Nolte sent her the white paper on those meters. So I just wanted to give Matt a shout out for doing that and stand on top of that. And hopefully that will set her mind at ease and answer the questions. If not, I'm sure she'll be calling me again, and we'll do what we need to do to take care of her. But anyway, shout out to Matt. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the 27th, I went to the League Water Interest Group, which looks at Calaveras and Tuolumne County and the state for water issues, and that's all I did.
Nothing to report, but I did want to tag on to what you had to say, Abby, about CSDA, California Special Districts Association. Of course, we're having a training with them tomorrow, but they are a tremendous resource. We can tend to focus, at least my experience on the board, more on, or there's a big focus on Aqua, which is a fantastic organization, but the CSDA, I feel is equally important, and would just encourage, especially new board members, to really seek out and use them as realize what a great resource they are for us as board directors. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. On 9/2, met with GM Perkins about the agenda and various TUD business issues. Had several meetings, well, a few anyways, last week that were all canceled by the fires, which, man, what a mess this county was in there for a while, but and it's going to take us a while to dig out. 9/4, went to a town hall in Tuolumne City about the fires. It was supposed to be something else, but that's what it ended up being. And I won't get into it. All of you have been reading about and hearing it. It's just a mess. The fellow that I brought up at the last board meeting that I'd gone to, that had been a board member here and past president of the board and so on. And I said that I had attended his 50th wedding anniversary. He and his wife lost their house in Chinese camp. So it was a horrible thing. And then yesterday, as reported by both Don and Director Kearns, attended the LAFCO meeting. I did so for a couple different reasons. One was this MSR report thing has been going on for quite some time, and I wanted to see it finally, what they were gonna do with it. And it keeps being intertwined with another district, which has been irritating. I think it should have been separated right from the beginning, but it continued even to last night. But the real reason, other than just trying to see how that was going to iron out, was I'm wondering, one of the things that Melissa does, and she does it excellently, is she keeps all of us up to date on all of our trainings. And I mean, we can't get away with anything. I mean, she keeps this tone the line. I'm wondering if there's some way, and this might be more directed to both our GM Perkins and to Corey, our IT person, if we can set up some sort of tickler program where things like that MSR, I mean, it's every 5 years. So people's minds, you know, the board, there's changes in the board, maybe changes in staff and so on. Can we have some of these important things maybe be set up to where they come up on a calendar somehow, and then we are already prepared, already have our paperwork in place and all the figures pretty much figured out, so that we're almost reminding LAFCO rather than reminding us. And there'd be other things too that would fit under that scope or that idea. What do you think?
I know we can do that. I'll just comment that I want to say this last MSR started in 2022. They send out a typical sheet, a request for information. Takes us inside of a week to turn that information around usually, and it's back in their court, and it's been in their court since 2022. So,
Well, I didn't mean to infer that.
no, I just, for the
we're
rest of
dropping the
us,
ball.
you know, we're not, it's not, the slowdown isn't because of, you know, them not getting our information. We turned it around.
But that's my point, is that as long as we're on the ball and we're getting it done, then I think the person that's assigned to that committee, that LAFCO assignment, that then they bring it up to LAFCO and say, hey, just thought you might want to know, we got all our paperwork right here. You ready to go?
Yeah.
You know, whatever it takes.
I think we can do something on our committees and assignments sheet that has a bullet point for MSR dates.
Okay, well, at any rate, that's it for me. So with that, we will close the reports and go to Melissa.
Okay, consent calendar. Minutes of the regular board meeting of August 26, 2025. Item number 2, approval of reimbursement claims for director's statement of meetings attended and or travel expenses, and claim summary for August 2025.
Okay, does anyone want to pull any? Nose everywhere? Guess what?
We knew you would. That's why we.
All right, so on page 5 of 26, this was just one name. I don't want to start naming names, but throughout the claim summary was numerous refund deposits for the daily court project. Can anyone tell me how, what, first of all, why was there a deposit? And then, I don't know, these are substantial. I haven't seen deposits of this size I don't think ever, but maybe I've been missing them.
Oh, you probably haven't. We're always happy to give money back to people. In this particular case, Daily Court is in Jamestown, we have 6 customers on Daily Court. Their water meters are at the old Rawhide Bridge.
Right.
And so they have these long service laterals. We were approached, Antonio was approached by the residents out there on multiple occasions to remedy this situation of having this meter bank so far away from their residents.
No, I totally get that, unless you're just trying to bring the board up to
I'm
speed.
trying to bring the board up to
Okay,
speed, but
okay.
if that is not, if everyone is familiar with that, okay, I'm getting a no on that.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
I'll be brief.
No, go ahead.
So we took it to committee, to the water committee, and then to the board. And the arrangement that was reached was that the district would furnish materials if those residents were to cover the labor and the pavement restoration costs for this project. Initially, we did an estimate, it was $170 a lineal foot, which is maybe a little fat. I mean, our crews performed the work, and we have data that, you know, they can do that job for $150 a foot. Well, we were pleased to report it came in at $133 a foot. And so we had previously collected deposits in the amount of about $48,000. And when we audited the project with finance at the end, we were pleased to see, I have to say I was a little surprised. The paving was much less, and the labor, the crews were very efficient and performed the work quicker than we had thought. And so the refunds that you see there reflect the balance due to each of the 6, and it's slightly different amount depending on what their original deposit.
Okay, thank you for that, because I've never seen anything like that before that I can recall. Okay, then on page 17 of 26, Liebert, Cassidy, Whitmore, Personnel Policy Review Update. What is that about?
Yes, so Liebert, Cassie Whitmore is our employment law firm that we use. We're in a consortium with them. And our personnel policy is, we've gone through an extensive update, mostly because of laws that have changed since it was last adopted by the board. And so on leave laws, mostly leave laws, harassment, anti-harassment, retaliation laws, and the like, and then to bring it up to just the modern practices. Nothing substantial is being changed in it, but to bring it up to the current day, mostly with the laws. So we did go through it very carefully prior to sending it over to Liebert, Cassie Whitmore, but then they did a substantial update as well. So that's what that's what you're seeing there in the claim summary.
Okay, great. So we're all squeaky clean and legal?
Yes, and this board will see the final product of that update in the next couple of months or so for adoption.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, if there's no questions with the board or anything, I'll open it up to the public. Anyone have anything to say on the claim summary? If not, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
I move we approve the consent calendar.
I'll second it.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay. Do you, Melissa?
Okay, regular business. Item number 3, consider approval of agreement regarding construction and transfer of water and sewer mainline extensions to serve 2 parcels in the city of Sonora, Peach Carlson and Peach Carlson. Hopefully I got.
All right, well, nothing to report. I was hoping it'd work. All right, well, I'm Antonio with the engineering department. So I'm here, well, first of all, good to see you. This new format is pretty fun. It's been a while since it's been changed. So I'm here to present a developer agreement for a project where I was here previously. Before I get into the project details, I wanted to kind of talk about why we do developer agreements in the first place. Since it's been a while, and this particular project is a fairly straightforward one. The project itself is in the city of Sonora that I call this the Beretta project. It's on Beretta Street, which if you have kids, you probably know is Roller Coaster Hill. And this project starts out at the apartment complex, which is at the dip of the roller coaster. So in this case, we have, Eric, if you want to jump to the exhibit, we have two parcels that are looking to be served by two different property owners, but they are related. And when a person looks to obtain a water or sewer service from the district, they are responsible to construct any facilities that are not already adjacent to them. So you have to have a water main or sewer main adjacent to your property in order to get service. If you don't, then you have to construct whatever that infrastructure is deemed to be by the engineering department under our inspection. So that infrastructure could be a large water main. It could be as simple as a 1-inch service lateral. In other cases, there's more complex projects where you've got to make improvements to a storage tank and things like that. In this case, because it was straightforward, a typical one, which is a water or sewer main, that was a good time to kind of talk about this a little bit. So when the person approaches me, I let them know that this is going to be a developer agreement, meaning that I have to come to the board. It's usually got to go to a committee. But that person also needs to, in the agreement, there's 20 some odd different paragraphs, I believe. The primary ones, the main concept is that they'll have to submit a plan. They'll have to hire an engineer to submit an engineer drawing to the engineering department. The engineers in the department approve that plan. Once that plan's approved, they can kind of do these things simultaneously. I start developing this agreement that they in turn sign and you approve. Once you approve the agreement, then they can move forward. They can hire a contractor to build this plan that's been approved. That contractor, I make sure that contractor is properly licensed, properly insured, and just someone that we're generally familiar with. That contractor will work closely with our inspector, who will track his time materials and charge to a charge account that the developer will have established via deposit, which you see in here. Usually it's somewhere between $1,500 to $5,000 per project. And we'll track all of our time. The inspector will work with the contractor, ask the contractor to submit what we call submittals, which is literally little drawings and cut sheets for all the different parts, from the pipe itself, fitting, everything, meter boxes, and they stamp all those parts so that everybody knows they're using the right materials. And as the course of the project goes along, the inspector, will be taking daily notes to ensure that everything is constructed to our standards. We have a thick little standard detail book that describes how everything ought to be constructed so that everyone, again, is on the same page. And then when the project's completed, the developer typically is going to pay the contractor, right? And once that's happened and the project has been finalized by the inspector, I ask to see that invoice. And so I get that invoice and I will then report that to the finance department because this becomes an asset for us that we have to depreciate and do other things that I don't quite understand. They also will provide a grant deed to the district, basically granting that facility to TUD so that it'll forever be a TUD asset that we will operate and maintain. So very weird concept when I first heard of it, where someone develops, constructs all this pipeline at their expense and then gives it to the district, but that is the way it works. And it's very common across the entire country. So that's a general kind of process. I don't know if I missed anything, Eric. Specifically for this project, as I stated, it came to us a couple years ago. They have been working on the project. They've some of the things that they've already accomplished is they started off with negotiating with the intervening property owner, which you can see in the staff report has provided a letter of support for the project. They figured out the easements that they needed. Those have been obtained and recorded, so that part is actually done. That's one of the things they've been working on. They have kind of grubbed the property already, moved vegetation, kind of generally cleaned it up. They're currently been working with, and I've also been communicating with the city inspector about preparing a grading plan. It's not probably going to be very extensive, but they want to make sure that they have their input on that. So that's actually in process. Contractor has already done the submittals. He's been asking me when he can start. And as far as we're concerned, you can start at any time, but they still need to work with the city. And what else do I have? Oh, and we have plans that have been approved, of course. Yeah, I think that's basically it. In terms of the project itself, again, you see the two parcels there. And the Carlson parcel is not adjacent to the Beretta Street main, and that's the parcel where they're building a new residence, and they're the ones that right now need these water and sewer mains. But the Pichet parcel that you see also wants to participate because they have other properties in the area. They think they could utilize these mains, but specifically they want to use the gravity sewer main and this feel like a shorter connection to a TUD main is better as opposed to long lines that they would need to install. You can see there that you got to have about 540 feet of sewer main to get to the Carlson parcel. Length of the water main. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they'll be constructing these mostly through just vacant land at the moment. The sewer main is going to go across the parking lot of the apartment, but again, Mike Thompson is aware of all this and be notified prior to construction so that the tenants can all be. Yeah, and of course, when the facilities are completed and we take it over and the Carlsons are ready for service, they will pay water and sewer capacity charges, which are listed in the staff report. That's a lot. So if I've missed anything, let me know, but I'd be happy to take any questions.
Anyone have any question? You go ahead.
Yes, just curious, we have you're showing it at the Carlson lot, the border between the Pichet and the Carlson lot, an 8-inch water main. That seems pretty good size for the area served. Could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so our standard in our water rules is an 8-inch main. When we deviate from that and say go down to a 6-inch, it's a question I asked the engineering department. I'm going off memory, and I feel like this might have been like a fire flow question, maybe. I can't remember, but that might have been it. And so and that's typically why you have an 8-inch main, just to serve fire flow needs.
Thank you.
Anyone else with a question? Yes, go
Just
ahead.
one clarification, Antonio. I remember this project a couple years ago with the earlier board. Really, nothing's changed, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as it was, and
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're just, one of the things that we've noticed for quite some time is that development is getting harder and harder. And this isn't somebody coming in that's experienced looking to create 20 parcels. They know, usually someone like that's done it multiple times, understands. When you have these private, developer types like this, the process takes longer. And so everything is a learning process for them. And that's kind of how this went. I think there were, just other priorities too, things stalled out here and there, but they have been actively working on over the 2 years. We got to the point where we felt as though we knew the agreement was expiring and we just didn't want to move forward with it expiring. Like we have this active. So told them we gotta go back and do this again, and that sort of stalled the process further.
thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead.
It's an infill project for one or more new residences in an already established area. And I'm really glad that you guys are pursuing this and that the developer's pursuing it because this is the best kind of housing to add.
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I've got a question, and that is, so I read through this thing a couple times, but I didn't really quite understand the 4 parcels to the north of East and Carlson. Are those, is that the owner that gave the okay for the what do you want to call it? Easement, yeah.
Yes, yes. The 4 top parcels with a dashed around them are the Thompson parcels. He's the one that's provided the letter, and pretty much all the infrastructure is on his property. He's given his permission for this to happen.
So, is he going to be responsible for paying, in the future when he develops those properties to pay back for the, installation of this service going in?
A couple things will happen. So there is, I did miss that, so glad you're bringing it up. So there is a reimbursement agreement on his 4 parcels that will last 10 years. When I get that invoice from that contractor, I'm basically going to do a spreadsheet that I'll save in my reimbursement binder and a map that will divvy out costs of his 4 parcels based upon the total acreage of the Boucher, Carlson, and Thompson parcels. And then that'll last for 10 years. And then when he comes in for service, if he chooses to, and if it's within 10 years, he'll not only pay to put in sewer and water service laterals to each of his lots, but and pay his capacity charges. He'll also pay that reimbursement unless he waits 10 years and a day.
I'm surprised he didn't get some sort of recognition, subsidy or something for allowing the easement to go in, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, so these parcels were created in, or like 78 or something
Sure.
like that. And they were created with an existing, and you can see part of it there at the far left. That's the existing road and utility easement due to the development. We've just changed it because it's along a hillside. I think there's a propane tank in the way now. And this new alignment, as it crosses the parking lot, at the angle portion basically, is just a better alignment and more natural alignment for Thompson in the future. So it just sort of made sense for him and the Carlsons, Bouchers to realign it where it is now in the exhibit.
So, and then my final question is, and I can't find it on this map right now, but I know when I was looking through, couldn't understand. I was just like Director Jacobs, why in the world are we going with 8-inch water main? Then I started thinking, well, maybe it's because of those other parcels to the east of this, maybe when they get hooked up, you're going to need that extra capacity. But also, where I was going to go with this, at the end of that water line, there's that black dot, and I think that's a fire hydrant, isn't it?
Correct. Yep.
So that would be also the reason why of the upsize, the 8-inch for fire flow.
Yes, and you're right that this project definitely has in mind all the parcels that you see to the east and even to the south potentially. You'd have to extend further, but there's sort of like a basin there for gravity flow for the sewer, and this is the most natural route for the water as well. So everything that's vacant in there now would probably, that you can see on this map, is going to be eventually connected to these.
Right. Okay, well, I want to thank you for your time and effort on putting this together, and was pretty straightforward as far as I was concerned when I was reviewing it. even though I had a couple little minor questions, so. Yeah, anyone else with any questions? If not, I'll open up to the public. Seeing none, guess we bring it back and we're looking for a motion on this.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement regarding construction and transfer of water and sewer mainline extensions to serve 2 parcels in the city of Sonora, Peach Carlson and Peach Carlson.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Right. Melissa, whenever you are ready.
Okay, item number 4, Coach's Corner, Meet the Team, Part 3.
Thank you, Antonio.
Antonio,
Good job.
Thank you.
pick one and pass it around. Okay. Today's another chapter of Coach's Corner, part 3 of meeting the team. Excited to do this today. Today, we're going to meet the raw water division and the water treatment division. A little bit about them. The raw water conveyance division provides for the distribution of raw water to the district's water treatment plants and agricultural customers. Division staff performs ongoing maintenance activities on all aspects of the raw water system. The ditch system represents a significant investment in raw water transmission by the district for its customers. Staff monitors, calibrates ditch flows throughout the year and especially during the summer months to ensure reliability. Continual year-round maintenance, upkeep, and repairs are required to keep the ditch system service ready in accordance with its historic properties management plan. The Water Treatment Division is responsible for the treatment of potable water to district residential, commercial, and industrial customers through the district's water treatment plants. The Water Treatment Division safely produces treated water at the district's 9 treatment plants, including 17 wells under strict regulations. The water treatment plant operators and regulatory compliance specialists coordinate the operations, testing, monitoring, and regulatory compliance aspects of the district's water production, a critical function to maintaining public faith in the water system. And currently, the water treatment staff has most recently taking on an advisement role in the planning and design of the future Sierra Pines regional water treatment facility, and will ultimately be responsible for the ongoing operating of the new facility. So, as we've been doing lately, we'll take a little intermission. We're going to hop in a couple of vehicles, maybe 3 in my vehicle, my Suburban, 2 with Eric. And then we're gonna go, first, we're gonna go see a firewater draft point in Confidence and meet the raw water team there. Did I say that right? And then from there, we'll travel up to Tuolumne, meet the water treatment folks. The Tuolumne water treatment plant. So take a little intermission. President Ringen?
Sounds good.
What time do you want to meet out the vehicles?
You're the tour guide.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock it'd be.
All right. Great.